Hey everyone, welcome back to Pokemon Rejuvenation. So on the last part, we heard a little bit of a disturbance in the woods, and we were actually on our way to go check that out. So right as we go to the cave right here, we have the Absol event, signifying misfortune. Also, before we really get too far into this video, I just want to say I'm a little bit sick. Hopefully my noise gate catches most of the sniffles and I can just edit all of that out, but if you do hear any of it, sorry about it. So back here in the cave, there really isn't anything we need to deal with. We can go ahead and get up on this little cliff here and take the shortcut. And we're back at the entrance again. Hey, what's going on? What happened out here? We don't know. We were training in Goldenwood Cave when a huge explosion came from the entrance of the forest. We came out here to see what happened. Now here we are. Someone, please help. Ma'am, what happened? Are you okay? Oh. You're the two children I saw in the forest earlier. You in the back. Your name was Icy, wasn't it? Please help me. Some thugs took my precious Furfro from me. Some thugs? Yes, they were wearing black and red uniforms. They charged right toward me, took my Furfro right from me. Black and red uniforms. Couldn't be. Could it? I'm just going to leave this behind, just in case. It's okay, ma'am. I'm going to get back your Furfro. So kind. Thank you. This way. No, here they come. Why did you leave us? I'm not done taking things from you yet. I knew it. Didn't want to believe it, but it's clear now. These people aren't just any ordinary thugs. These are none other than the criminal organization called Team Zen. So you have heard of us. Not some joke anymore then. Some great news. Great news indeed. Well, anyway, just going to get what we came here for and make our leave. We're here for the girl. Any form of resistance will be met with our unruly wrath. What? Want the girl? Oh my. I'm sorry. It's just, this is the first time I've actually noticed that the old lady over there is just dancing like that. And that she had the expression where you could actually see her putting her hands up over her face, or around her face. No, I'm not as good as I used to be. It looks like I've still got it. What are you going on about? Who would want a gross old bag like you? Can it, Grandma? Talking about the blonde girl, Melia. What the? You're here for me? That's correct. You were ordered to kidnap a girl named Melia who would be in this area at this time. And now here we are. You're coming with us. You guys are insane if you think I'm going to go with you lot. Comply, do they? Alright, take a look at this then. It's Meowth. Something's very different about it. Dang. Really that noticeable? Phyllis said it wouldn't be that noticeable. I guess she was wrong. Anyway, you're right. This Meowth isn't a normal Meowth in the slightest. This Meowth has been subject to an experiment thought to be long gone. Shadow Pokemon. Shadow Pokemon can't be. Shadow Pokemon haven't been... obviously started the project back up again. Our version of Shadow Pokemon is much better than the ones created by Team Cypher. The briefcase. Listen carefully. Enter the code 6489 on the briefcase. It's the code my father told me to put if things got rough out here. You input that code, maybe we can get out of this unscathed. So, what we have to do is go around to the front of the briefcase and enter the code. But there's actually another code we can enter first, which is 3845. And we'll actually get an ability capsule if we do that. From there, we actually want to enter the code we were told just now, which is 6489. Is that a glove? No. Couldn't be. Could it? Take that glove and get over here immediately. And there it is. We found the snag machine. Hear me out on this. I want you to try and capture that Meowth. I know that sounds terrible, and usually I wouldn't advise this. I think that glove you have is a snag machine. Fill you in on all the details later. Just snag that Meowth from them. Can't be serious. Really think you can beat me? Well, fine then. Just go ahead and try. So something to note about this battle is that nothing bad can actually happen. So like, just to show you, I'll use Defense Curl on my Geodude. And you'll notice that the Meowth doesn't actually have a turn. This is basically a tutorial battle for you catching the Meowth. So all you really have to do is just throw a Pokeball at it and got it. I don't think you... oh, it actually failed. That's kind of silly. I do know that the Meowth will not attack. So actually I'm gonna get back to you as soon as I catch it. Alright, I'm back. That didn't take too long, actually. But there we go, we actually caught that Meowth and took it from him. And just for this, I'll make sure to put it on my team. Snagged my Meowth? How was that possible? So, it is a snag machine. Why would a snag machine? Probably best not to think hard about it for now. Hey, give me back my Meowth. Raised it from an egg. You can't just take it away from me. If you truly cared for Meowth, you wouldn't have turned it into a monster. You'll both regret this. Our attack isn't over. Let's just see you try to escape this forest. Ours by the end. Looks like we got through that okay. What about us? What do we do? We all head back into the cave. It's a grove you can all hide in until Team Zen moves out of this area. Till then, stay safe. We'll try to escape, divert Team Zen's attention away from here. Pokemon are still weak from our battle. I can't fight with you. I will try my hardest to heal your Pokemon whenever. We can do this. Sir. Don't have her, do you? Sir, I was unsuccessful, it's true. Damn it. What happened? Elia as planned. She wasn't alone. Friend was incredibly tough and... My Shadow Meowth was taken away. Huh? You mean taken away? It seemed to have something similar to a snag machine. Maybe it was one. Was it a snag machine or wasn't it? Was. She have a snag machine. Way too much of a coincidence. Only possibilities. Well, can't leave through Wispy Path, so they'll have to go down here. And when they do, they won't be. Get out of my sight, Grunt. Sir. Ellie, Chantel, get ready. I'll need you to defend me until this is complete. It's Sharon, not Chantel. Sir. Yes. Whatever, Shanty. Just do your job. So here we are, and Melia will actually follow us from now. She does heal your team, but you actually have to talk to her in order for it to actually happen. If you don't talk to her, she will not heal your team. It'll stay damaged after battles. Anyways, it's time to talk about Shadow Pokemon. So these originally appeared in the Coliseum and XD games, but they also make an appearance here. It's really neat. I can't tell you how happy I was when I actually saw the cutscene with the snag machine. But Shadow Pokemon are pretty complicated, even in this game. So for the first part, they cannot gain experience. Instead, you have this heart gauge right here. And you have to work this heart gauge down. So if I do a little bit of walking around, like this a little bit, and then we check on the Meowth, you'll actually notice that the heart gauge has gone down. And you eventually have to get the heart gauge down completely before you can purify the Shadow Pokemon and turn it into a regular Pokemon. But while it is a Shadow Pokemon, it cannot gain experience. It also doesn't even have a normal moveset. Instead, it has Shadow moves. Shadow moves are super effective against pretty much every type of Pokemon except for Fairy types. You can also battle with these Shadow Pokemon to decrease the meter as well. And when you get the heart gauge all the way down to 0, but it's not purified, Shadow Pokemon will actually learn a few of its regular moves. Something else that also tends to happen in battle with a Shadow Pokemon is that sometimes it will go into a mania. So what'll happen is it will actually continue to use its moves, however it will do a little bit of damage to itself each turn. And I mean, typically these moves are also recoil moves as well. So Shadow Pokemon can really rack up a lot of damage in battle. What happens if your Shadow Pokemon goes into a mania during a battle is that you have to actually call out to them. And what'll happen when you call out to them is there should be an option where the run option is in battle. And it'll just say call, and that's what you use to call out to them. Another thing about Shadow Pokemon is when you finally do purify them, they will receive all the experience that they would have gained while they were battling as a Shadow Pokemon. So you could eventually, say, put the experience share on a Shadow Pokemon, and when you do eventually purify it, it will still have all of that experience. And the last thing I really want to mention about Shadow Pokemon is the Fairy type didn't originally exist in the game's Coliseum and XD. However, it does in this game, and Fairy types are actually super effective against the Shadow Pokemon. Another thing to note is that trainers, enemy trainers that have Shadow Pokemon, have normal movesets. However, when you snag them, they usually don't start out with normal movesets. I think that's pretty much everything to mention about Shadow Pokemon. At the moment, we can't purify them, so I wouldn't worry about them too much. However, I will be showing all the trainers that do have Shadow Pokemon on screen. Anyways, speaking of Shadow Pokemon, there is a Team Zen member over here. Who should have a Shadow Finneon. So that's the first Shadow Pokemon that we're going to be showcasing right here. I probably won't be catching these on screen, but I will be showing them off. So I'll catch you after the battle. And also, catching Shadow Pokemon does actually change the story just a little bit. There's a lot of text that changes when you catch someone's Shadow Pokemon, of course. So obviously that person over there is regretting turning her Pokemon into a Shadow Pokemon. I have to talk to Melia to heal the team. This trainer over here doesn't have anything special, so this is getting cut out, of course. After that battle, we can move down over here. This Team Zen Grunt doesn't actually battle you, but they will sit there and brag to you. I believe the next Zen Grunt is right over here. And there's one more Team Zen Grunt that we can actually battle all the way over here. You'll find him bullying this woman over here. And this is actually a notable grunt because they have a Shadow Cacnea. Absolutely love the grunt's reactions when you steal their Pokemon. Cacnea, snagged it away from me. It's really priceless though. And if you talk to that girl, she just talks about how selfish she is because she doesn't really care about the safety of anybody else. She's just angry that they ran over her flowers. So right up here, you want to talk to Melia and just get healed up, and then you probably want to save right about here. Oh look, there they are. Melia, bad girl. Capture them, sell them to high up. Sell? What are you talking about? I'm not selling anyone. You mean we're going to capture her and give her to our leader? Then, yeah. Yes, that is what I mean. We kill girl too. Yes? What? What am I going to do with you, Ellie? Listen, I don't understand your obsession with me. We're leaving, whether you like it or not. See, that's where you're wrong. You're not getting away. Won't be seeing this place ever again. Just to resist us. They say, just give it up. Never. And this time, she actually will fight with us. Although she does have just her Togepi, and it's not that much use here. So, this is the misfortunate duo, Ellie and Sharon. They're not that difficult. The Murkrow over there has Wing Attack, Pursuit, and Confuse Ray. And the Mischievous over there has Shadow Sneak, Psywave, and Spite. And that confusion is pretty much the only thing that makes this difficult. But thankfully, they're just going to tag team Togepi, and we won't have to deal with that. Next up is the Glameow. It has Feint Attack, Scratch, and Hypnosis. Again, it's really annoying, but it's not that difficult to deal with. So thankfully we can take out that Glameow before it puts us to sleep. And from here we can just use Magnitude on the Stunky over there as Poison Gas, Smokescreen, and Fury Swipes. Again, it feels like the whole point of their team is just to be a nuisance right now. Obviously I can't hit the Mischievous with this, but I can take out the Skunky with it. And then I can just slowly take out the Mischievous with my Smackdown. So Geodude is already putting in some good work right here. Despite all my big talk, this is no real surprise. It's pretty boring, isn't it? I mean, things go exactly the way you predicted. Whatever. Still going to try and capture you. Give up, don't we? Yeah, whatever you said. Take another step, we'll attack. We won't hesitate to hurt you. Wonder, do you actually do that? Probably would. But our boss is literally right behind us, so... And it's the shiny Garbodor to the rescue. Oh look, a threat to the mission. Sorry Zetta, but we're going to have to deal with this. Right, Ellie? Absolutely. I mean, it's our job to take care of threats. Come on, let's go. Range. Oh. Such a lifesaver. I'll pay you. You know what we have. Let's give it our best and save the forest. So again, you probably want to talk to Melia again just for the heal up, and probably want to save right here. So from here, we're just going to walk up and poke their leader in the back. So Sandra and Ellie weren't able to hold off. Sheesh, did they feed you kids for breakfast? Our cereal? Well, it's far. We'll give you props for that. Name's Zetta. A weird name. Parents hate you or something? The girl behind you must be Mel, huh? Melia. So that's what you like. I see. Things are starting to make sense now. Enough of this. Leave Goldenwood Forest immediately. What's the point of attacking this place if I'm a prime target here? Well, I mean, answered your own question, so I think I'll skip it. I'm more interested in snag machine friend has. Did you get that, huh? That's none of your business. On the contrary, it's definitely my business. Machine is a little troublesome. Kinda negates a huge part of what we're doing. Hand it over. Not giving up anything. Stupid. I expect you to just hand it over. Which is why I brought a little friend with me. Do see it, right? It's been looming behind me for quite some time. A little hard to miss. I don't suppose you know what it is. No idea what that is. Fantastic. That means I get to be a teacher for a day. So listen up. This, my humble students, is what you would call a dimensional rift. They're breaks in the universe that create portals to other dimensions. They act as transportation, teleportation, or as weapons of mass destruction. Weapons of mass destruction? See, these portals have no purpose when it's just out here alone. But something inside of it, particularly Pokémon, something very interesting happened. Being said, conjuring up one of these things takes up sort of a last resort. You know? Not use it, as I totally have to. So let's play a little game. I see and I will battle right now. If I win, I take Melia and the snag machine together. If I lose, I and to show you what my deadly weapon. Sounds fair, right? It's completely unfair. A bad situation no matter what outcome. Ding ding ding. Girl is smart after all. It's too bad that my deals are final and are acted upon immediately. Sayonara. And this is Zetta. So if you'll notice here, Zetta actually starts out with a Shadow Alolan Grimer. You can tell it's Alolan Grimer by the sprite right there. And you can tell when you check up on it later on. But anyways, instead of actually fighting this Shadow Alolan Grimer, we can go ahead and actually try for a one-turn catcher and just avoid this. If we get lucky. Which we actually did. Again, ignore the Pokédex entry. It is a Alolan Grimer, not a regular one. Next up is going to be his Miner. This Miner can be really annoying. It has Rollout, Defense Curl, Confuse Ray, and Self-Destruct. Also has Shields down for an ability, of course. So it's going to try to confuse me. And hopefully I can break through this. And then it's going to destroy itself. Next up is going to be his Oddish. I'll go ahead and send in my Woobat right here. This Oddish has Acid, Mega Drain, Sleep Powder, Synthesis, and it can either have Chlorophyll or Run Away as an ability. Neither of those really matter. So it looks like that was a range for me to knock it out. That's kind of unfortunate because it's going to put me to sleep and in general just mess with me right here. So hopefully I can wake up sometime soon. A lot of these early battles are really annoying, honestly. I would even call them challenging if you let yourself stay on the same level as the battles are, but I didn't. And I would recommend not doing so. Next up is going to be the Cyndaquil right here. And I'll go ahead and send in my Rejuv on that. Cyndaquil has Flame Wheel, Quick Attack, Aerial Ace, and Smokescreen. Also has Blaze for an ability. This is just my opinion, but I think a lot of the early Rejuvenation fights are more so annoying rather than challenging. It takes around till the first gym where you have sort of a challenge, and before that it just kind of hinges on status and whatnot. And finally here comes his ace, which is going to be the Type Null. Go ahead and send in my Nidoran right here. So his Type Null has Pursuit, Double Hit, In Power Fighting, Aerial Ace, and Battle Armor for an ability, which means you can never crit this. So since it's mostly got physical moves, I want to send in my Nidoran right here and see if I can get a Poison Point off. Type Null is pretty bulky for this point in the game, honestly. So at this point, I'm just going to send in my Geodude and Woobat, because I want either of those two to actually get the experience. And I'd probably prefer it if Woobat got the experience. The reason I don't send in my Voltorb is because my Voltorb does have Aftermath, and any physical moves that knock it out would cause the Type Null to lose a bit of HP. But unfortunately, the Type Null almost always knocks out my Voltorb with In Power Fighting, so that doesn't work. I'm just going to try with Heart Stamp right here and try to get some flinches. Again, I would really like it if my Woobat got the experience for this. Which it did. And no. So that's Zetta. And yeah, I'll actually send the Meowth to C to take the Grimer into my party. Ah, look at that. This really is a snag machine. You went and snagged my Shadow Grimer like it was nothing. Slightly impressed, though there isn't much counterplay. Counterplay is that you don't use Shadow Pokemon. That's shit advice. Don't use. Taking better advice from my ass. None of us wants to go there. Just wasting our time, Zetta. Lost. How right you are, my darling. Lost. That just allows me to play my trump card, no? I mean, is that a part of our deal? Isn't it? Right, well. Let's get to it, shall we? Dimensional Rift. It's time to wake. And voila. What is that? It's pretty sweet, ain't it? Think you can really take on this thing? I'd love to see you try. Actually, I really don't. Just going to sweep Icy to the side for now. What are you talking about? I mean exactly what I say. Listen, battle was nice and all. Frankly, in my way, I'd like you to step aside. Forget it. We're ditching this place. Come on. What? You two just give it up already. And so here we find ourselves inside of the Rift Dragon Gate. And before I forget, if you check in here, you can actually see that it is an Alolan Grimer, has the Poison and Dark typing right there. I'm going to go ahead and reorder my party and put my Nidoran in front right here. If we move on up over here, we can actually update our Cybernav. So now we have our own Rift decks. There's also a Healing Star right over here, but it doesn't quite work, so we'll just go up here and enjoy the cutscene of the magic card climbing the waterfall. And hopefully people actually understand that concept. Wait. I don't know where you are, or if you can even hear this. I won't let you face this alone. So this is the Gyarados, and it's actually going to be a Rift Gyarados with Intimidate when it changes form in just a second. I'm going to send in my Nidoran right here and try to get the poison point off, because it has mostly contact moves. Also, if you notice, my party is a little bit different. I had a game crash, and unfortunately Meowth is stuck here with us instead of the Grimer. It happens. So next up, I'll send in my Voltorb right here. This Gyarados has the moves Thunder Fang, Dimensional Thrash, Ice Fang, and Fire Fang. It's also a water dimensional type now. So Dimensional is a type of its own. It resists Shadow, Fairy, and Psychic, and it's weak to Fire. Which is interesting because that means that the Gyarados right here is actually takes neutral damage from Fire. The Dimensional Thrash is not... Dimensional moves are not super effective against any other type, I believe. But it is pretty strong and it does get stab on it. So I can do anything here on my Voltorb. I don't really mind, it's just that my Voltorb... Wow, that actually just happened. Okay, that's fine. I just want to send in my Voltorb here because it does have Aftermath, and I want the Gyarados to take the Aftermath damage since it has nothing but physical attacks. It has to. So from here, it doesn't really matter that much. Something to note is that the Fang moves have like 5%, 95% accuracy, so there's like a 5% chance that they can miss. So you can count on that if you want. Actually, see if I can get a good magnitude off right here. That's decent, but not decent enough. So again, if you trained your Pokemon up and you have a wide variety, if you even just have the Nidoran, even if it's not leveled up, you could try to get it poisoned and stall it out. I don't really seem to have a lot of luck with the Poison Point right now on screen, or even off screen, actually. So as you can see right there, that is the Dimensional Rift Gyarados. Did well. Hey. Wake up. Goodness, you're finally awake. Did you hear my call? I tried to reach you in that rift. Garbodor and I attacked the Gyarados, but I don't think we were able to truly defeat it. Zetta was able to save it by turning it back into a rift. I tried to bring Garbodor with me. It refused to come with me. Maybe it's trying to buy us time. Doesn't matter right now. All that matters is getting out of this place. Besides, the police arrived and taking care of the situation. Let's head back to the lab. Anyways, that looks like it's going to be it for this part. Hope everyone enjoyed. Also want to mention that as soon as you complete this part, you won't actually be allowed inside of Goldenwood Forest again for quite a while. So hopefully you've done everything that you wanted to do inside of the forest before this happens. But anyways, as I was saying, it's been quite a long part. Hope you all enjoyed, I hope it helps, and I will hopefully catch you on the next one. On the next part, we're going to do a lot of side questing, just a little bit of story, and we might even get to the gym, I'm not sure. We'll just have to see when it happens.